in this question, we're asked to determine the gradient and the y-intercept point of two lines. The first line is defined by the equation 2y equals x minus 8, and the other line is defined by the equation 3x plus 2y equal 8. Now it's very important that we rewrite the equation in the form of y equal mx plus c. That is, the equation should start with y equals. In other words, y should be the subject. However, looking at these two equations, we do not have y as a subject. In fact, this is saying 2y equal. This one is saying 3x plus 2y equal. We want y equal. So, after making y the subject of the equations, we will be able to identify the gradient. So, once y is the subject, the coefficient of the x term is what we refer to as the gradient, which tells us the steepness of the line. And 0c is the y-intercept point. 0 must always be before the y-intercept for the y-intercept point. So 0 comma and the y-intercept. Where is the y-intercept? From this equation. The constant at the end with no variable, that's what we call the y-intercept. And so the y-intercept point, we will write it as open bracket 0 comma and this value here. So let's go about. So for the first equation, we have 2y equals x minus 8. So we're going to have 2y equals x minus 8. And now we're going to divide throughout by 2. So each term will be divided by 2. Why is that? Because we want to make this y the subject. We do not want 2y. We want to have 1y. Okay, so this will give us what? 2 into 2 give us 1. So that's 1y equals. Now this x in the numerator is really 1x. So we can think of this as a half of x. Minus, now 2 goes into itself once, into 8 4 times. And so this is really 4 over 1, which is same as 4. Now this y equal half x minus 4 is in the form of y equal mx plus c. So we can clearly see by equating both of these that the m value is a half and the c value is the negative 4. So the gradient, let's write that here, the gradient m is equal to 1/2. And the y-intercept point must be given as an x value being 0 and the c value being the y-intercept. So therefore it is 0. C value is, let's look at it, c value is negative 4. So this is our y-intercept point. Always start with 0, comma, and the c value, the y-intercept value, which is negative 4. Now let's look at part B. We still need to find the gradient and the y-intercept for the line. So let's rewrite the equation we're given. The next step is to ensure that we isolate the y. Now to do this, we will get rid of the 3x first. So we're going to subtract this 3x from this side to eliminate it. So we'll only have 2y on this side. But because I subtracted 3x from this side, we also have to subtract 3x from this side as well. So we end up with negative 3x. Let me put about a plus 8 here. And then we will divide throughout by what? By 2. So divide this by 2, this term by 2, and this term by 2. By dividing 2y by 2, we get y. And this is going to be negative 3/2 x plus, now 2 goes into itself once, into 8 4 times, so plus 4. And so we can clearly see that we have y equals, now this is a top heavy fraction, meaning the top number is bigger, ignoring the negative sign of course. So we can convert that to a mixed number. And so this will leave us with what? 1.5 x, so negative 1.5 x plus 4. Now, some person might say, okay, this might be a little confusing. So if we had used the transposing method, So let's rewrite the equation. 3x plus 2y equals 8. Transposing the 3x to the other side will make it negative 3x on the other side. So in the next step is where I'll write the 3x on the other side as negative 3x. Remember, it must be done in the next step. This is a transposing method. Now the 8, which comes after the equal sign, will still be after the equal sign on the right hand side. So it is positive 8, so we maintain it as positive 8 since we did not transpose it over the equal sign. We only transpose the 3x over the equal sign. Now we have 2y equals 3, negative 3x plus 8. Again, we divide through it by 2. And of course that will give us the negative 1.5 x plus 4, which is explained earlier in this step. So going back to this, we have what? We can actually equate this equation to the form that is in, which is y equal mx plus c. And we can clearly see that our m value is negative 1.5, that number that multiplies x. So our gradient is that number, what number it is, negative 1.5 or negative 3/2 is fine. And then we can also write the y-intercept point. The y-intercept point, which is 0, comma, then the c value. So it's going to be 0 what? Well, the c value, once it's in the y equal mxc form, will be negative, is positive 4. So y equals the mx plus c. So c is what? Positive 4. And we're done. We have the gradient and the y-intercept point. Hope this video was helpful.